The following text, read by Edna Kalb, is a chapter from the book In Her Own Voice by Phyllis Lei Furumoto.
An inner bond. As I began to search for the topic of this next article, I noticed a fleeting thought in the back of my mind. Is there another level of initiation for Grandmaster, or being the lineage bearer? That question instantly brought more questions that begged to be addressed. Was it a physical initiation? Is there a gift of power with the initiation? Is there a clear feeling of a state called Grandmaster? What happens when I die? To whom will the lineage pass? Is there a difference between Grandmaster and lineage bearer? Is this the top of a hierarchy? 25 years ago, I was recognized as successor to my grandmother, Ryoho Takata. Now, as I write this article, I find myself in the very place where I lived at the time of her death in December 1980, and I recall the energetic of that time. This recollection is a remembering that does not store as memories of physical events, but evokes a feeling of seeing an energetic pattern. I am seeing again my life and my place in the formal system of practice, Usui, Shiki, Ryoho. During the summer of 1980, I had taken 5 months to seek my place in Reiki. Was I a master? Could I dedicate my life to this practice? At the end of the summer, I wrote my grandmother a letter committing myself to Reiki. I met her in October and spent several weeks with her, traveling, living, and teaching together. After completing this time, she traveled on to the West Coast, and there she was taken to the hospital with a heart condition. I went to visit her in the hospital in Bellevue, Washington. Although I went to be with her, she sent me off to teach a class in Victoria, BC, Canada. Reiki comes first. It was a big adventure for me. I had just made my commitment to her to dedicate my life to Reiki and to her practice. I was new to the practice as well as to our new relationship, master and student. When I returned from this experience, she immediately sent me to teach another class with a fellow master, Bethel Fay. I was in a state of bliss. I was in line with my family for the first time of my life. I had a way of being with other people that fulfilled my dream and desire for my life's work. I was free of encumbrances. No rent to pay. No relationship except the one in front of me, Reiki. Then I met a man, and we fell in love and decided to marry. We were in this remote mountain valley, moving into town, and a great snowfall came. It snowed for days, and I was without phone contact with my family. I worried about my grandmother, but she had told me that I would see her at Christmas in Iowa, and I believed her. So when I arrived at our new home in Nelson, I found a message from my mother that was days old. I heard this and knew what the message was. During this time, when I was snowed in without telecommunications, I had a continuous experience of energy and of agitation. This went on for weeks afterwards. We have the oral tradition that gives us the understanding that a person becomes recognized as a student of this system in the physical presence of a master. This mutual recognition, the student recognizing the master as a master and the master accepting the student as a student, is the beginning of the energy of initiation. As the student comes toward the master and the date of initiation, an energy builds which opens the student to the initiation. The master prepares him or herself by being conscious of the coming initiation dates and living accordingly. In the moment of preparation and consent, the initiation occurs. What happens? I don't know. That is not in my physical, temporal, and relative universe self. In my absolute universe self, where everything is energetic patterning, initiation is not only the act. The state of initiation must be accessed as well. When there are 2 people or more, the access can occur. The ease of access may depend on the preparation of the student as well as the master. For some students, the experience of initiation is profound. Others are left wondering if it worked. It seems to me that in the state and act of initiation, we are being called to expand the possibilities of our experience into the non-physical world of feelings, energetics, and to the edge of the unknown. It is clear to me now, as it was 25 years ago, that an initiation occurred. The where and when on the physical plane are still a bit obscured by the myriad events that were energetically and physically engaging for me at that time. In hindsight, I know that a flow of energy was passing through me before, during, and for months after my grandmother's death. Do I feel I received more power? I don't know the answer to this question yet. What I do feel I received during this stage of my Reiki life was an inner bond to this system. Not only did I receive an initiation, I also received acknowledgement from a number of students in the system and the support from the community as Hawayo Takata's successor. All of these aspects that I include in the state of initiation have propelled me and nourished me into what can be called the successor or lineage bearer or Grandmaster.